Hi, I'm Melissa Tubbs. This is my presentation over my literacy lesson plan. My lesson plan is going to be for kindergarten classroom, and we're going to focus on print concepts and phonics. So for the lesson objective is going to be that they will be able to write their name using upper and lowercase letters correctly. They will also be able to demonstrate the understanding of the organization and basic features of print. So they'll be able to understand that those letters make up their name. There is several Oklahoma standards that can tie into this particular lesson. The main one is that I'm going to be focusing on is going to be students will correctly form letters to write their first and last name and most uppercase and lowercase letters correctly. And that's K.2.PC.6. But you can also, because during the lesson, I will read them the book, so we can pull in these other standards that like K.1.L.1. Students will actively listen using agreed upon discussion rules with prompting. So that will be that they are able to sit and listen to me read the book. Also, I will end up asking them questions during that time. So we can pull in the standard of students will engage in collaborative discussions about various topics and texts, including their own writing with peers and adults in small and large groups with prompting. And then at one point, I'm going to have them point out their the letters in their name, so we can pull in the Oklahoma standard that students will name all upper and lowercase letters. And they're also going to have to read me their name, so that can pull in the students will read their first and last name in print. And then on my other activity, they will be looking for their name, so they will have to be able to read that in print. My lesson guided practice is going to be first we're going to come together and sit on the carpet, and we're going to discuss names, and I'll ask if anybody is named after anybody in their family, or do they know where their name came from, if it was a special name that their parents chose for a certain reason. Like, I will use myself as an example. My middle name, I was named after my aunt. We will have a little discussion about that, and then I will bring out the book, Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes, and we will read that book. And then when that is over, we'll discuss how names are important because they let you know who you're talking to or who you're talking about, and stuff like that. So then the materials that I'm going to need is the Chrysanthemum book. They'll need pencils, pictures. I'll need pictures of the students, construction paper for the book, paper rectangles for their names, paper for name and number of letters in students' names, which I'll have that printed out, paper with flower stem, center, and leaves on it, construction paper, petals, scissors, and glue sticks. So then the next thing would be our hands-on group activity. After reading the book, I will have the students go back to their tables, and there they will have all of the supplies they need for the hands-on activity that we're going to do as a group. They will have construction paper page for the book, because we're going to make a class name book. So they will have a piece of paper for the page. I will also supply them with this paper where we will write the name when they come up to me. I'll write their name there and we'll count how many letters are in their name. Then we will, and they can pick colors. I'll have various colors on the table, but I'll have rectangles where some are a little larger, like this one, and some are a little smaller, like this one. The larger one is going to be for their uppercase letters in their names. So while we're doing this, and we're going to do it all as a group, and I'm going to do mine at the same time with them, we will talk about to make sure that the first letter in your name is always capitalized. So we're going to use the bigger one, and then we'll use these for the smaller ones, or for the lowercase letters. And then I will proceed to have them write one letter of their name on each piece of paper, on each rectangle square. And when they're finished, and then I will have them tell them to then glue those in order on the piece of paper so it'll look like this. And when they are done, they will come up, they will bring this to me, and that's where the assessment part will happen. So the assessment will be, after giving all the instructions and stuff, I will walk around and make sure everybody's on point and doing what they needed, and if they need any help. Then I will have them each bring me their piece of paper. So this will be glued at the bottom, and then their name will be here, and I'll make sure that they tell them to leave a space at the end. And when they come up to me, I will ask them their name, what it says, and then I will have them spell their name to me, pointing at each letter as they say it. And if it's not correct, I will have them go back to the table and fix what needs to be fixed, and then bring it back to me to be checked. If it is correct, I'll write their name right here, and then together we will count the number of letters in their name, and I will write it right there. Then I will give them a picture that I'll have already prepared that I've taken of each student, and I will give them the picture, have them take it back to the table, glue it on. When they're all done, I will have everybody bring them up to me, hand them back in, and then I will take them and have them laminated and make a book out of it and put it in our literacy center so everybody can look and learn everybody's name. And it'll have the picture associated with it to help with that. My extension activity is going to be in a literacy station. I hope in my classroom that I will be able to do literacy centers. So I'll take part of the morning and change them out every week or two and have them rotate through these different stations so they do every station. And in this one extension, I will have them do a flower, because chrysanthemum is a flower. So I think that would tie into the book really well. And at the table, or at that particular station, they will have a paper like this. There will be papers there, and everybody's will have one with their name on it. And right when I'm doing this activity, I'm just going to be focusing on their first names during this. So it'll have their first name written on it. So the first thing they'll have to do is find the paper that has their name written on it. So that will go back to one of the Oklahoma standards. And then what they'll need to do is the instructions will be that they put one letter of their name on each petal. And they will have their choice of colors at the, like this, at the station. And they can pick and do all one color, do several colors. But on each petal, they will write one of the letters in their name. And I'll remind them to make sure that the first letter is uppercase. Then when they've written out each letter in their name, they'll cut out the petal and they will glue it on the paper in order of their, of the spelling of their name. And it'll end up looking similar to this. Mrs. Tubbs is a lot of letters, so it's kind of cramped. But if they have a short name, I'll tell them that they can pick some petals to kind of fill it in so it doesn't look so sparse. But that would be one of the extension activities I would think about using. And there is my presentation. Thank you.